Welcome back to the Pearls and Pearls podcast. I'm your host, Peta-Kay. It has been a very long time since I said that. I hope you guys are doing well, but I'm back. Bear with me. Be patient with me. I'm going to do my best to be consistent, but I do have my next 2 episodes recorded, so I'm excited. I know I'll at least be on track for 2 weeks, but there's lots of exciting things happen, lots I want to update you guys on. In today's episode, I'm joined by a special returning guest, Miss Chante Bennett, who was on the podcast a couple of months back where we were talking about, what were we talking about?
Was it a couple of months or was it a year? A year ago.
It's been a year.
Yeah, when I moved.
Time flies.
First of, like, in March. Remember? It was literally in March.
Okay, well, it felt like a couple of months ago, but it was actually a year ago.
Yes.
All right, well, she's back again. But before we get into today's episode, because we're talking about business, we had to record this episode because we were having some really fun conversations. And I was like, okay, we're recording a podcast today. And so here we are. But before we get into the topic of today, I want you to tell the people about who you are. For anyone that's a new listener or returning listener, firstly, thank you guys for listening, because, I have been on a hiatus, but I'm back. And I thought, I'm back, but I'm not coming back on my own. Yes, I'm coming back with a special guest. And if you want her to be back, even though she's going to be traveling the world, but, just let us know. So without further ado, let us know about who you are, Miss Chante Bennett. Introduce yourself to the people.
Thanks for having me again. Even though it's been a year.
Yeah.
Thanks. It's always a pleasure being on the podcast.
Thank you for coming.
And this time I can say what I'm doing, who I am. I'm Chante Bennett, an online business manager and operations consultant. And
Why are you using that voice? Sorry, guys. I can't.
Sorry. I'm just the overstimulation, the excitement.
Okay, guys, we are definitely overstimulated. We are recording now at 11:36 p.m.
But yeah, so I'm an online business manager and operations consultant, and I serve my clients by crafting strategy and systems that help them elevate their business operations, projects, and teams so that they can spend less time working in their business and they can focus on working on their business and doing the things that they love and enjoy.
Wow. By the way, guys, she has no notes. That was all literally from her head. So yeah, you can tell that she really knows her niche. She really knows what her purpose is, what she's aligning on in her business. Yes. So yeah, the fact you have no notes and you were able to literally just spill off all of that. Okay, girl, hats off to you.
Elevator pitch.
She's definitely been practicing her elevator pitch for sure. But honestly, we had to have this conversation because I think on social media, I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship. But I think one of the problems is this narrative that pushes everyone, like everyone needs to be an entrepreneur, you should have a business. Okay, great. So maybe you're listening right now, you started the business. But what I wanted us to talk about today is a lot of common mistakes people make when positioning themselves online. Because I have been seeing so many people, that have started their businesses or they're running their businesses, but the way that they're positioning themselves online and who they actually are and the quality of what they're providing, it doesn't align. Let's talk about, firstly, some common mistakes people make when positioning themselves online. I think there's a balancing line of fake it till you make it, as far as like trying to present yourself in a certain way. Yeah. But then also literally just being fake and scamming people. So yeah, how do we even start talking about that?
I don't know. Where do we start off? I think, this whole the notion of fake it till you make it sort of thing. People are literally taking it literally.
Literally.
People are taking it literally, where it should be more as operate in confidence, the most confident that you can, but that doesn't mean faking it.
Yeah. Essentially, we're talking about common mistakes people make when positioning themselves online.
Oh,
okay great. I'll start. So mistake 1, they position themselves as something they are not, basically. Like they'll say, I'll use a business coach because that's the easiest thing that I can think of. So they'll position themselves, I'm a business coach. But really, that person has no experiences in business themselves. They are coaching you based on things that they have no experience in. It's literally they're just winging it and hoping for the best. Yeah, there's no actual experience and groundwork and investment behind what they are then presenting themselves to be.
And what I've realized is some of the coaching is they are coaching you as they basically build their business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a lot of that, which I'm very much like, because sometimes I like to look into someone's background, like their experience, what have they come, where they're coming from. And sometimes when I can't see that connect, or that I can't trace back to anything, I just have to be like, oh, you're coaching them as you're building your business, which I have come across a lot. So yeah, it is an element of people are still learning, and no one's saying that, oh, as you're learning you can't do anything, but it's just about being like real and honest about it. And also try and get real valuable experience to actually offer what you're trying to offer.
Or even if you're new in the space of whatever it is you are delivering a service on, base the people you're working with on the experience you have, essentially. So let's say you're starting off as a business coach. Then in that case, focus on people that haven't yet started a business. Instead of you trying to coach people that have actually been doing business when you're building your experience yourself, it makes sense to then work with, okay, people that actually want to start. Because so many people, you have a business idea, they don't know how to start, or
start with me.
Exactly.
And
so
you all go on your journey together.
So then it's different. So I think it's just that gauge of, okay, instead of presenting yourself as something that you really do not have the experience, it's okay to start from scratch. And it's okay to be like, I'm working on building my clientele or whatever. It's just being real and authentic, essentially.
And I'll say the second mistake, because I personally have experience in making this mistake, is the language that you use based off like the service you're doing and the business you're doing. So for example, when I started marketing myself, I was saying I'm a digital business consultant. Working in tech, I know what a digital business consultant is, where people in the online space, they hear that and they just think marketing. So for a while, I was just getting people assuming that I'm doing marketing. So I realized quickly that I need to figure out what the online space, how the online space will digest who I am and what I actually do. And after quickly doing research and looking at the thing, I was like, okay, it's an online business manager, it's an OBM that essentially is doing what I'm doing. This is the best way to describe it. So I was like, quickly I was like, cool, that's my title. Not that maybe the previous title was more like corporate jargon, basically. Whereas I learned the online space is very different.
And I guess it's also part of the process of learning to position yourselves to your target audience. So you recognize that the way I'm positioning myself, my target audience is not understanding what I'm delivering, and so I've got to then alter that.
And I learned, okay, I need to understand what language, I was using certain language that I'm used to using in my corporate role. I was like, okay, they do not understand this language. This is not it. Literally make it simplified and something that even a 13-year-old or like a little kid will understand. And so that's one thing that I know tends to happen. People can label themselves the wrong title and not realize, basically. And I think it's very important that you understand what exactly your title is. Are you doing it and can you fulfill it? I think that's very important. So that's another mistake that people make. They are labeling themselves the wrong title.
Makes sense. I guess it's almost finding that line of like, there is, like you said before, it is important to be confident in what you do and your ability to do what you are saying you're going to do. But I think the problem is when you are positioning yourself, saying you're going to do this and that, but you do not have the substance to do it. I think that's the issue. And you've got to be very, especially when you're charging people. You're charging people for a service or a product or whatever it is, and if you're not delivering, you're basically just scamming people.
And it will show in your work as well, because there's only so long that you can fake it till you make it. And also, if you're not being poured into but you're pouring into others, come on.
I've said this to you before. A lot of people that get into business, they get into it for the wrong reasons. It's that notion of, I just want to be my own boss, I want to have financial freedom, blah, blah, blah. And I think a lot of it is very centered around just that person. Of course, you have your goals because there's things you want to achieve. There's a lifestyle that you want to build. But if you're saying that you want to be in business, there's an element of you that needs to be willing to serve your customers. And there are people that you want to be in business just to be like, you're in business. You know what I mean? To be like, oh, I'm a CEO, I'm an entrepreneur. But babe, you're not serving anyone. You're not serving your customers. And there's only so far you can get by doing that. You may even make money, but... And I think also with the way the internet is right now, If there's only so long you can get away with being bad in business or being dodgy in business. You gonna get found out. Someone's gonna do a story time. You're gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna pop up somewhere. Someone's gonna leave you a review. And I think also just for the nature, not just of the business you're doing right now, and again, it's to being short-sighted. Think of the future. You don't want to blacklist yourself for something that maybe 10 years' time you're not going to be doing anymore or have no interest in. But again, how you treat people is going to matter.
Yeah, no, it's true. Very, very true.
So should we fake it till we make it?
No. I think that I've been seeing posts recently actually of entrepreneurs that are being more vulnerable and open, which I really, really love, because that's a side of entrepreneurship that people don't see, is like the struggles, the hard times. I mean, yeah, we've discussed that sometimes people that say that they're winning aren't actually winning, and they're just lying. And I've also seen people online say the same thing, like these are just lies. If I was someone that was interested in possibly getting into business, that's what I would do. I'd look at, one, what's my purpose, like what is the purpose, what is the reason behind it that makes me want to desire this, and 2, I would actually try to search and follow people who are actually showing the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
Because it's just like life. There's not constant up. It's like there's up and downs. So yeah, I always appreciate people who are actually honest about whether it's like their failures. And it's okay to fail, because you actually learn from it. The quicker you fail, the faster you learn, and the quicker you can like move on to the next thing and learn your lesson. And I try to be like as transparent as well with people that like come and ask me questions or talk to me. But sometimes I find like people can't take the realness. Like a lot of the time they can't take the realness. Like they just assume I'm gonna say, oh yeah, like this, or this is going on. And like when I'm like, oh no, actually, it's not going well. Like it started well, but it's actually going down. And you know, then they're looking at you like, oh, and you're like, yes, like this is part of it.
So essentially, people don't want the reality of
no.
things. They want to know the
They just
ups.
want to hear good.
Nobody cares about the downs.
No, and they probably forget about you, and then you're up again. You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's business, and also like there's so many things that's coming to me now. Again, people talk a lot about when you maybe like go full time in business, but again, not everyone's gonna share their mistakes. But I feel like what people should know is that you will make mistakes. There will be mistakes. There will be up and downs. Like there will be good, but there will be up and downs.
Yeah.
And I think people just don't. People sometimes start business expecting it to be like this, just go up, and they don't recognize that like things can happen, whether it's in your control or out of your control, whether you could have prevented it or whether you couldn't have prevented it. Like it happens, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the other day when we were talking about like people, you know, sometimes people talk about, oh, if you're gonna like go out and do your own thing, you need to be like to prepare. And I was saying to you that as much as you prepare, there are gonna be things that you experience that you wouldn't have thought would happen, or you wouldn't have thought you should have prepared for, because everyone's journey is actually different. And even though you should learn from other people's mistakes, you should still be aware that things are going to happen to you that probably the research you did, nothing came up because you wasn't looking for that. But then like you might go through something that you're like, oh, I wasn't aware that this could happen. Yeah. But then you're going to meet people as you're going through it like, oh crap, this has happened. Oh, this can happen. So I think people don't think about that either. And I feel like that's probably what makes some people like give up and run back from where they came from rather than like pushing through.
But I think also it kind of boils down to the fact that most of us, we just want that instant gratification. We want to win straight away. But then I think there's a part of it that is social media that plays into. Yeah. But then it's also like, as the consumer of social media, because again, even when we're thinking about our content, we're creating it in a way that we hope people are going to engage with. Yeah. You kind of learn, once you've been posting for a while, the things people engage with, the things people like. Sometimes the things you want to post, the people ain't interested in that. No. And so it's like, it's true.
No, that's what I'm laughing.
That's the annoying part.
Because so even like today, like my post yesterday got 5k view like that. The one I posted today hasn't even hit 1k.
Exactly.
Literally.
So It's almost like this big monster where it's like there's a social media aspect that yes, we're pushing certain types of content, but also as a consumer, we're making that content go viral. We're engaging with it.
It's true.
And as much as we say, people should be authentic and blah blah blah, sometimes people don't want to see the authentic. They want to know the wins. They want to know that you made 6 figures in a year, you made 7 figures, and now you got people wanting to buy your business. People want to know that. They want to hear that you were broke and struggling. And you were waiting for one invoice to clear and you've been eating noodles and mackerel.
I'm screaming.
It's true. People don't want that side. And whenever people say to me like, oh, I want financial freedom, I need to have passive income, they say all these buzzwords that you see on social media. And I'm like, okay, so why do you want that? What are you going to do with that?
Yeah, literally.
Because it sounds good to say.
And
even the whole notion of generational wealth, it sounds, everybody says, oh yeah, one thing, you're making it. Okay. Like, I've heard it so many times. Whenever I hear it, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit.
It's such a buzzword.
It's such a buzzword. But then it's like, when I have to come, okay, so what does that look like to you?
They don't know.
They don't know.
They can't tell you what that means.
And I think that's where we miss the point. So yes, there's this element of people saying they want the real. But when people are posting the real content, baby, I need you to engage. Okay? We need you to engage.
Yeah, honestly.
It's true. That safe space. It's true.
Yeah.
So I get why people fake it. But at the same time, that kind of segues a little bit into the next aspect that I want us to talk about, which is doing business ethically. Yes. Like I was saying to you before we started recording this episode, there are a lot of people that say they want to get into business. And some of those reasons, it is true, people want flexibility. And also, yes, we know the 9-to-5 life. It doesn't, well, some people, it's not even 9-to-5 that they're doing. They're working 12-hour shifts. It's not flexible. No, it's true, depending on what you do.
Yeah,
if
it's
you're a nurse,
true.
you're a doctor, it's not 9-to-5. You know, even 9-to-5 is a luxury in a sense, having that flexibility. And most people, we want work-life balance. Who doesn't want work-life balance?
Yeah.
You know, but people also want stability and financial freedom. Entrepreneurship, once you get to a stage where you're making that regular income, it can provide that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, they go into it for those reasons. But again, nobody goes into business, most people clearly don't, thinking about, I need to be ethical, I need to have principles in how I operate my business, my values. People not, and I think also the problem is sometimes when people get into business and they're like, okay, cool, I'm doing this full time.
Yeah.
Because you're living hand to mouth and you need to get them invoices cleared. Sometimes the ethical part goes out the window because you're operating from a place of survival as opposed to I'm operating from a place of building my business. I'm building this. This is not going to be an overnight thing, but it's something that I'm working towards building that one day I will scale and so on.
Yeah.
But when it's more, I need this because if I don't, the lights are going to get cut off, the water's going to stop running, you know, it's a little bit different in terms of how you operate. What does doing business ethically look like to you? Because even ethics, a lot of it is down to your values, and, you know, but for you, what does that look like? How do you do your business?
I mean, I've actually had, I've personally, like, stopped working with a client or, like, let go of a client if I just feel like it doesn't feel right or if it feels sauced or if, you know, especially if also sometimes if I feel, I'm sure there's been times if I feel like, oh, the client is not maximizing the service.
Yeah.
There's no point. Like, do you want to basically rethink and maybe come back another time? You know, like, I feel like some people were like, someone's paid for a service or comes to them for a service. But, like, I feel like if you feel that or see the other person is probably not, what's the right word?
In the right headspace?
Not willing. Not in the right headspace or not willing. Or, like, you feel like they're don't have the capacity to commit. Maybe they're wasting their own time by maybe just trying to jump on a bandwagon of something, which is probably not right for them.
Yeah.
But instead, like, people will follow through and just keep taking their money instead of saying, do you know what? Do you think this is right for you? Like, asking those questions, which I don't know. I don't know how people do it.
It's greed. Remember?
What
was the 2 things I said?
Was it greed and poverty?
That's it. Greed, that is it, yes. So
will make you do crazy things.
The context of what I'm saying is, I was saying to Chante that I've realised that for a lot of people, it's greed and poverty that leads them to make really reckless decisions. For those that is the poverty side, they just want to make money. Yeah. So by whatever means necessary, if the person says, oh, can you do this service? They can't do that service. They don't even know how, but they're going to try and make something, fake something so that they can get the money. Or equally, you accept something knowing fully well you do not have the capacity to help that person. You don't even know what they're talking about, but for the check, you're going to take it.
Like, for example, when I started my membership, what was important to me was, first, I put a number like max 10. And then I was like, I have to speak to all of these people. You can't just sign up and just get in and funnel through without me actually touching base. Because I was very much like, it's very important for me to understand, can I actually help you? What you want help with? Am I qualified to do it for you? But also, are you qualified to be my client? Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people do that all the time. But also, it's also wasting yours and their time too, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess as long as they get the bag, that's all that matters.
Exactly. If your focus is the bag, you don't care if you're wasting time. As long as the money makes sense, you're not thinking about that.
Yeah, no. Like, literally, no. I had to... it was so important for me to talk to people. Because I need to understand what you're dealing with, where you're at. A chance for me to even see... if we vibe, to kind of sense, how would you work? That's what, for me, that's like ethical. But no, other people just funnel.
And I guess it all boils down to what is your focus and why you've gotten into business in the first place.
Yeah.
If your intention in getting into business was just to make money, then it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Because there are many ways to make. I can make so much more money in my business by being unethical than me being ethical.
Yes.
There's queries that come in and people ask me, do you do this? Do you do that? And sometimes I have knowledge on those things.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do it because it just doesn't align. I would just be doing it for the money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think also you have to have some things you'll say no to. When you're at a stage where you will just say yes to any opportunity, it's even like if you're thinking about partnerships and being able to work with brands and that sort of thing, you've got to have some standards.
Yeah,
if you're just going to say yes to every query that comes in, do this or that just because you want free products or you want to make money, even for your audience, they're not going to take you seriously. They're not going to trust the things that you speak about because they'll realize, first, this person was talking about this. Now it's completely random. It's completely off-brand. It's nothing related to what this person normally talks about. And also, it's like you're just deceiving people.
Yeah.
There's only so long that you can do it.
It's
but
true.
For me, it's just knowing that, like, I guess I have a conscience. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. But so for me, I think also,
that could be our problem. We are.
Well, to be fair, I'm glad I have a conscience. I wouldn't say it's a problem. It's a good problem.
No, it's a good problem. I don't mean it like that. No.
But I guess also, if your focus is just on the here and now, like even for me, what I'm doing right now, am I going to be doing it in 10 years' time? I don't know. But regardless, the way that I see all the things I'm working towards, ultimately, it's my name.
Yeah.
If I decide 10 years' time I want to do something else, I don't want no scandals. Clients was like, I was working with her, and do you know what I mean? Like, people don't recognize, especially in this digital age, all someone needs to do, baby, is type your name. And everything that's linked to you is going to come up.
Yeah. And
I would hate, let's say 10, 20 years from now, you type my name and it's a bunch of scandals
and
that are legitimate.
Yeah.
We're not talking about fake, we're talking about legitimate scandals.
Because I was going to say, then there's this deep fake that's coming in and they'll just be taking and twisting things in the future.
No, we're not talking about deep fake. We're talking about the skeletons coming out. That's what we're talking about. So I think it's not just about building a business. It's also building something that's going to be sustainable. And even if it's not business, your career is the same concept. Mm-hmm. If you're the kind of person, every place that you go, you're problematic. It's a small world.
Yeah.
And especially if you stay in the same industry, people talk, people know each other. You know, life is just so funny, you just don't know.
And you're supposed... I actually see it that you should be building your business as you would your career. Mm-hmm. Like, because let's say, you might be doing a 9-to-5 and your business, but then once you actually start focusing on your business solely, like, that is your career. And I don't know, do people not see it like that?
Short-sighted. A lot of people are very much like short-sighted. I don't want to say it's just our generation, because it's not, because sometimes I talk to older people and I'm like, you're short-sighted too. But I think a lot of people, they're just thinking about this moment. It's just the mindset. Really? It's the mindset, yeah.
I don't know, I'm so long-term thinking. That's how I think. So what you do today could impact 5 years' time, like literally.
100%. And even if you think about your life today, a lot of the things you're doing right now are off the back of decisions you made
a few years ago.
Yeah,
literally. Like, it's crazy. that compound effect be affecting.
It is, and if you're not compounding nothing, then
Nothing is affecting.
That's where you're compounding nothing. So let's segue into customer service.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
So like I said before, a lot of people get into business because, again, they want freedom, they want flexibility, they want to be their own boss, they don't want no one telling them what to do. You know, there's all those memes on corporate space and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I think also sometimes people forget the importance of customer service in whatever business you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
What are some things that you have done in your business or in your experience so far that you have done to help you to kind of provide good customer service to your clients, your customers?
I always try to ask for feedback, like all the time. If I'm providing a service, like even during a call or even after, or even if like I'm wrapping up with a client, I have, is it offboarding forms?
Offboarding.
Yeah, so I have like feedback for like after one-to-one, feedback maybe after like, the membership. If someone decides to end or leave, I have a feedback form for that. Even for my retainer clients, I have every 3-month review as well. You have like duration, but also like a big 3-month one. And yeah, just always reviewing, okay, the reason why this person came to me, oh, what are we doing? Does it match? And just getting their feedback and asking them how they feel. Even if they seem like they're not happy, I would ask them, like, what are you not happy about? Just tell me, like, literally. Yeah. Because how am I supposed to fix it? I originally came from the beauty industry as well. That industry.
Let's talk about it, girl.
Because today, someone I know, she wrote a ebook on customer service, how to keep your clients. And she said she was even more encouraged to write it because the stories she will hear from her clients, and the stories were horror, and it wasn't just from beauty industries, from like across the board, basically. Even like these, so you know what really irks me is the late fees.
Okay. What, late fees for service?
Like, yeah, I just feel like if someone is 15 minutes late, just cancel. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, they lose their deposit. They have to book again. Why just add an ad? Because at the end of the day, if they're late, they're going to affect everyone else anyways. Mm-hmm. So then why charge them and then continue with the service? Just say if you're 15 minutes late, the booking is cancelled and you lose your deposit, and that's it. If they pay full up front, you lose 50% because that's my time. Especially if you know, or if you're late 45 minutes or the remaining time won't actually work and it will overspill into my other client, then that means those other clients should then start charging you for 15 minutes late. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I don't understand that concept. I understand your time is precious and it's important. You can choose to give a grace period or not. Mm-hmm. Your grace period could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I would say max 15. But then again, it's going to depend on what kind of service you're delivering. Yeah. If you can't go up to 15 and literally the max you can do, you know your timetable, you know your schedule. If you know you can't go over 5, if you can't accommodate for 5 to 10 minutes, stop charging. Just say you've lost your deposit and you have to book again. If you're, and also set rules. I just feel like set rules. If you're late more than 3 times, I can't serve you as you can't be my client. That's it. Like, I've recently learned even more about implementing certain things in your business so that like your clients respect you. If you're just gonna keep, maybe that's their way of gaining respect. I don't see it that way. I just think you should have a boundary or standards. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the right term is for that, but have like a after 3, sorry, I have to let you go as a client now. Or like clients should know that I can also let go of you too. Yeah. Not just you letting go of me, but I can let go of you as bad behaviour, bad customer. You're being a bad customer. But that's how I see that. And I think as well, sometimes people don't understand. Most business you go into, you're dealing with people. And people don't understand that they're dealing with people. Yeah. And it's a big thing. Like, there's people got emotions, feelings, thoughts, opinions. Like, you're dealing with people, so you have to be mindful with how you actually treat and manage your clients.
But I think that, in theory, that's common sense. But there's also a level of emotional maturity that is required when you're working in business.
That is true.
Like, even as we're talking about customer service. My 9 to 5, I'm a customer service manager. That's literally my job, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I do trainings and I'm explaining certain things, in my head I'm like, this is common sense. Everyone knows this. Everyone should do this. But it's not.
No.
And I think the problem, if you are someone that is providing a service or you're selling a product, you have to remove your emotions from what you're doing.
Yes.
Because if your client is saying, I'm not happy with this or I didn't enjoy this, that's their experience. You might not agree with that experience. You may think this person's problematic. They just want a refund. But you have to think of the bigger picture and think about the fact that as the business owner, you have more to lose than this customer does. Yeah. Okay? And if you then stoop to their level and you start taking it, like you're going to damage something that you've been working hard to build.
Yeah, that's true.
So firstly, there's a level of emotional maturity that's required in business. And I think the problem is a lot of people that are starting businesses, you're not emotionally regulated, baby. You're not. Okay? You are all over the place. And this is why the problem is, I think, operating from your business from a place of survival. There's good elements in the sense that you're ready to grind. You're going to work hard because you need to make that money. But at the same time, like you said with what you do, you're helping business owners to actually be able to build on, like be in their business, work on their business as opposed to working in it. I can't remember the word you said, but essentially you're giving them the space to work on their business. When you're not in a regulated place or your mind's, you're scattered, you're all over the place right now. There's no structure, there's no order, there's no clarity on what you're doing. You're not able to actually operate your business as a business.
Yeah,
it's a lifeline at that point. You're in survival mode. And that's why when it comes to customer service, you have to understand it, whether I'm serving one customer or 1 million customers. I have to treat people in a way that they're going to want to come back. They're going to recommend me. Your customers are your marketing. When you have a happy customer, they might not tell people there and then, but an opportunity might come. Someone will say, oh, what did you do this? And they'll recommend naturally. When people have a bad experience, they will remember.
Yeah.
They're going to remember. They will tell. They might not be a social media person, but they're going to tell their friends. They're going to message in their Facebook groups. They're going to message in their group chats. Oh my gosh, you know what happened to me today?
Yeah.
And so you've got to think of the bigger picture. It's hard. It's not easy. And sometimes we get so attached to the things that we build. We've worked so hard on it. You think about the time you've invested, the money you've spent. Dealing with criticism is not easy. No. But you've got to remember, at the forefront of what I'm doing, I'm in this business. I'm actually serving. If I have no customers, I'm making no money. Yeah, there is no business without the customer. Literally. So you've also got to think about the bigger picture when it comes to customer service.
And I think, once you see it as like you're serving someone, then I feel like you will serve from a position where it's like, okay, I'm serving this person. I need to serve this person well. I need to serve this person right. Rather than, what is it?
But
survival
you know what?
mode and just wanting the money.
But I think that's the problem. People are starting businesses not because they want to serve anyone, but they want to be served. They want to serve their desires. They're not. Let's be real and let's be honest. A lot of the people, I'm so sorry if you're in my head right now. A lot of people that are starting businesses today, they're not thinking about, oh, I want to serve this. They're thinking about, I want to make some money. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to make money. Me too, I want to make some more money this year. I got plans. I got things I want to do. But at the same time, I'm also thinking about how can I serve people better? How can I help people to actually achieve the things that they want to achieve? Yeah. And remember, the word service has serve in it. So when you're thinking about how can I better my customer service, essentially you're thinking about how can I serve the people that are coming towards.
And I think, what was I going to say? I think it shows as well, what just came to me as well, as you said that, like service and serve is, what comes to me is the people I know that are very good at serving, and one thing that is consistent with them is that they always actually ask their customer for feedback. Like always. They always like, give me feedback. It could be on, can you leave a review, or can you tell me how you're feeling, or do you like this? When you were saying that, I was just thinking about like people, and they always ask for feedback. Like they always want to know, like, okay, is their service fulfilling your need, what you want? I think that's a really good sign when someone's asking you about your experience with them or your experience overall.
And also, as you're asking for feedback, be willing to be receptive to the feedback you're going to get. You're not always going to get what you want to hear.
Or what you expect.
Also, don't ask for feedback just to feed your ego, okay? Actually take that as constructive criticism, whether you agree or not.
Yeah.
And see how you can adjust, how you can change.
Yeah. And it's okay to apologize as well. Even if you feel like you did a good job but someone didn't, just apologize that they were experienced.
Even if your apology, I'm sorry that I didn't meet your expectations.
Yeah,
you're not
literally.
lying, you're being genuine. I'm genuinely sorry I didn't meet your expectations.
Even if you thought you did, you did, it's okay just to be like, because what's the word? You know that thing where like one person's experience is different to another. So like, although you might think you gave your all, someone else might be like, no, you didn't. Then it's like, what can you do?
Yeah. So I guess it's a level of empathy, emotional maturity, but also even phrasing the question of, what is there anything I could have done differently?
Yeah.
That would have made your experience better. I think also when you're dealing with customer service, it's also learning how to articulate yourself. And sometimes your clients, they don't know how to articulate themselves. They'll just be like, oh, I didn't like it. And then you ask, okay, what was it that you didn't like? They might not be able to. Was it the vibe? Is it how I made you feel? So even just asking, okay, I'm sorry you weren't happy with this. Is there anything I could have done differently? Or what would have made your experience better?
Yeah.
Asking those questions, that's actually going to get that person thinking a bit more. And also even from a feedback perspective, it's going to help you to know whether this person just problematic or it's actually a genuine experience that they've had.
Yeah.
All right, so let's segue into personal branding. So we've spoken about mistakes people make when positioning themselves online. Fake it till you make it. We've spoken about doing business ethically. Let's talk a little bit about personal brand, because this is something that you do talk about a lot. So let's talk a little bit about it. And I have a few things that I want to talk about with personal brand.
Okay. What do you want to talk about when it comes to personal brand?
It kind of leads a little bit on to what I was saying earlier about seeing things with a bigger picture. I think something that I'm learning, like I can confidently and honestly say at this stage of my life that money is not my main focus.
Yeah.
Because there's certain opportunities that I could make that money. Okay, I could make it, but I'm seeing. I think also it's like when you're trying to think of the future. Yeah. I don't want myself to get to a place where I'm so desperate for a specific number that I'll do anything to make it happen.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just detaching yourself essentially. It's not that I don't want money. I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's not my driving force for the things that I do. And so something that I've realized recently, the importance of your personal brand, whether that's online or offline, is who you are, how you show up, how people perceive you, how you make people feel. Just that in itself will speak for you. Sometimes you might think, oh, I can't post online all the time. And it's all right. Sometimes you can't post online all the time. But how are you offline? Yeah. How are you in the relationships that you're having with people? Because in those relationships that you're having, whether it's close or even people that you meet at an event or just in interactions or even how people hear other people speak about you, there's opportunities that have come into my life that are off the back of businesses that I had in the past or relationships that I had with someone or someone just recommended me. And I'm thinking, oh, like I'm not even close to that person, or I'm even surprised, like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how or trying to make the connection somehow. But it's shown me, especially this year, the importance of a personal brand. Not just for the performative aspects, but like, oh yeah, why can't I building my personal brand? But it's true. Yeah. Again, it's become a bit of a buzzword. Yeah. You know how social media is. But at the same time, from a genuine perspective, it's like, who am I? It's not just building a personal brand, which is like this Barbie, this caricature that's not actually who you are. It's true, because you know there's there's a very performative aspect to social media. You know this. But I think when you're thinking about building your personal brand, it's also something and someone who's actually authentic to who you are. Because if you're building something that's not you, it's gonna fall down, and we're gonna know something will happen, and it's just gonna expose that that's not who you are genuinely.
Yeah. So I think in this day and age, like even things that I've read. Obviously, personal brand was something that people thought you would just do outside of like your 9 to 5. But now it's like it is actually becoming part of the 9 to 5, and they're encouraging like corporate people, like people that have jobs, to also have their own like personal brand as well. So it's not even just important just in business or for like, I don't know, for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, but overall, as I guess I see as more like, who are you as a person? Like, how are you carrying yourself? Just like you said, how are you showing up? But when did I realize the value of it? I would say 2023. It was at the end of 2023 when I started building my personal brand, and I think like within the first 9 months, I just saw how valuable it was, and I wish that I actually started it like sooner. Yeah. So I'm glad I eventually took that journey, and I've been building my personal brand.
I don't think you did necessarily start building a personal brand. Firstly, you didn't have the language to necessarily know that the importance of it.
Okay.
But looking back at your journey, you've been building your personal brand.
You think so?
Yes. You may not have like been as, let's say, on social media aspect of it.
Yeah.
But you have been in the relationships you've had, the businesses you've had, the customers you've built, the network you've built. That's been building your personal brand.
Yeah, I think maybe I was building it offline.
Offline. You were building it offline.
Yeah, I was building it offline without knowing. And then I was like, oh, I need to show up online too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I think that's true actually. Because even where I used to live, like, yeah, I think I definitely built a personal brand there. But I didn't even realize, like, I honestly didn't realize. And it definitely, like, it was when I moved out and I was like, oh, damn. Like, people were being sad. I was like, what are people being sad for? Like, I'm sorry. Even when I think about it, why are people being sad? Like, calm down. But yeah, I probably did that a lot actually. Like, build it offline. And then I realized the impact, how it could be online. So I was like, oh, let me show up online. But yeah, but it's true, actually. It is true. Because even to this day, like, people always ask me about Link London, like, till this day. I'm just like, damn. Some people, I'm just like, right, you remember that? They're like, yeah.
That's how I feel about Peta-Kay Cosmetics. I'm like, bro, I've retired that business in my early 20s now.
Literally, so.
But then it just shows a testament to what you built and created.
Yeah, no, it does. It does.
I think one last thing that I would say on personal brand as well, and not just personal brand, but just building whatever it is you're working towards in general, is I know we all want the overnight success. We all want to wake up tomorrow with £1 million or billion, whatever it is your goal is. But just understand there is beauty in the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's about building sustainably. It doesn't sound cute. It doesn't sound like you want to click and save that in your notes.
Sounds eco-friendly.
But,
sorry.
I know it does. But honestly, it's about building sustainably. Think about businesses that have gone super successful and they went bust. They didn't build in a sustainable way. Whatever your goals is, whether it's financial, relational, your career, think about building something sustainable. And you're sustainable when you actually have solid foundations.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the problem. A lot of the times we want to rush. We want everything to come quick. You want £1 million salary when, baby, you're struggling with your 2K. The point is, it's true. I mean, I've been there because that was me too. I was like, God, if you just give me $1 million, I was lying to myself.
Oh my God.
I was lying to myself. But honestly, we do this so much. I get it. We don't like being uncomfortable. I don't like being uncomfortable.
I absolutely
hate it.
Not like being uncomfortable.
I like soft life, honestly, and that's why I make some of the decisions that I make. But the point is, and it's something I have to remind myself at times, it's like, be in the process. Like, your life is right now. You're living your life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just center everything on the life you're trying to build on. When I make this, or when I become this and that, there's beauty in every stage of your life.
Yeah.
And just focus and hone in on what you're doing. Don't be looking, oh, but so-and-so is doing this and that. Because sometimes we make no progress because you're comparing and you're trying to copycat what other people are doing, but that doesn't even align with what you're working towards building. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it's a matter of drowning out the noise.
Yeah. And
also having a sounding board offline. Sometimes you need to limit how much you're on social media, baby, because you're going to be confused. There's so many voices, there's so many opinions, and not all advice is sound. So honestly, I've been wanting to record a reel about this, so I'm going to talk about it now in the podcast. But honestly, not all advice is sound. You need to have a life offline firstly, and remember, social media is not real. You got to have your hook. There's a lot of technicalities. Right? There's a lot of technicalities. Even with this title that I'm going to do for this podcast, I want you guys to click. I want you to listen. Of course, we've got the value. Yeah. But the point is, it's like, you just got to remember, this is a part of life. It is not all of life. Mm-hmm. And you've got to make sure you're building. All the things that you've done to build your brand offline, you've been able to translate that online.
Yeah.
And also,
true,
people
actually.
that know you in real life, they're not gonna think, what? That ain't Chante. They're like, it's fake, girl. Because it's true. There's a huge connection with your life offline and online.
Yeah.
And people that will generally meet or interact, they're gonna think, that ain't her. Do you know what I mean? There's gonna be a connection somehow. So it's really about building in an authentic way to who you are. Like, the thing that makes you unique is you.
Yeah.
There could be a million people doing what you're doing. You've just got to identify, tap into your source, what you can do, and actually do the work to work on your craft. Don't be lazy, because some of you out here, you're wanting 10K, you want to charge people 10K, but you're not even working on your craft. Like, you've got to also be able to deliver what you're saying you're going to do. But that's all I have to say. What do you have to say, girl?
Girl, I had so many points to say, but...
They're gone?
They're gone. But wait. You know, you were saying reduce your screen times.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yeah, it's not every advice that you have to take, but especially if you're not good, because I'm very good at blocking things out. Like, I can very much be like, yeah, but not everyone is good at that. But maybe some people need to learn to become good and learn how to block things out. But maybe that comes with understanding and knowing yourself. So then you know what to, okay, block that out. I know, okay, I can tend to fall in certain areas or whatever. Like, block it out, basically. So maybe just learn yourself more as you're being patient on this process.
So, Chante, any last words from you or any tips that you'd give to those that are listening?
Anything that you are starting that is new, like business or whatever, or even if you already have an existing business, please, I want to stress on the importance of SOPs and documenting and creating your standard operating procedures, your how-tos, your requirements, because as you grow, again, think long-term. It might just be you alone in the business, but think long-term about when you want to have, you want to delegate work or you want to have help. Because once you start and you keep going and you don't have these things in place, then you have to strip back. And then when you want to scale, you kind of have to like strip back to then go forward. So that's one of my major tips. Like, even if you're the only person, even if you see your business as being solo, like you're the solopreneur for a long time, even if you're using AI, have templates in your business, have how to do manuals, have standard operating procedures, as well as how you do things. And that's something that I want to share and say, because I do believe a lot of people will be starting businesses, like with the madness that's going to be going on with the employment market and stuff like that. I can already see it, but that's just one thing. If you take away, please take that away. And if you want to know more and get some help and support on that, head over to my website at www.chantebennett.com or connect with me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm going to be having videos on YouTube. Literally just search my name and you find all my socials there. And yeah, just consume the content, take in the information. And if you have any questions, you can just reach out to me. That's my tip, and that's where you can find me.
Okay, great. The voice is back, but it's fine.
The voice is what?
The voice is back.
Oh!
She's like,
Sorry.
what do you mean? Oh, no, it's
Sorry.
fine. I think that's your professional voice. I don't know. But thank you so much for sharing that. We've had a great conversation. It's so funny. Our episodes are always so long. We are now,
How long is it?
We are now on 55 minutes.
Right, almost an hour.
Of course, this has not been edited, so we'll see once I edit it.
Yeah.
But honestly, thank you so much for joining me. I've had a really great time, as we always do. We're going to record another episode, just not today. But honestly, I do hope those that are listening that you'll take something away from it. We are in the age of knowledge, but a lot of people are ignorant. So the point is, take this in, soak it up, take action. Honestly, how much more knowledge you need? Take some action.
Yeah,
connect with Chante, connect with myself, and share this episode, because I'm sure there's someone in your network
that needs to hear
it.
this. Yes.
Have a great rest of your week, and I'll catch you in the next.